Today's webinar session is 8 common CRM data quality issues and how we can solve them using Zoho DataPrep. So if you are not familiar with Zoho DataPrep as a product, we are an AI-powered enterprise-ready ETL platform. So what we mean by an ETL platform is that as an organization, you might be having data residing in multiple different sources, right? It could be in your data warehouse, it could be in a cloud database, it could be in multiple different business products, could be your email software, wherever your data might be residing. DataPrep as a tool can help consolidate all of those data and prepare them. So what we mean by data preparation is you can clean them, format them, whatever you want to do with your data. You can manipulate the data and then you can push it to the necessary destination. So that is what DataPrep does. So 3 main use cases of DataPrep is you can build ETL pipeline. So you can move data. So the main functionality of an ETL pipeline is to help you move data from wherever to your necessary destination. So since we are in the Zoho ecosystem, majority of our customers want to move their data into Zoho CRM. So that is what we call as reverse ETL. So when we say ETL pipeline, you can bring data from data warehouse and then push it to data warehouse or to make your data available. But when we talk reverse ETL specifically, it means making data available in your business application. So in our case, majority of our customers want the data to be made available in Zoho CRM. And the final use case is CRM data management. So the main component of our DataPrep tool is our DataPrep Studio, where you'll be able to fix your data. So when you are, so majority of our CRM customers have a problem, they collect leads information externally, they go to events, they get CSV files. So they'll have to manually sit and clean their clean their CSV file before they're able to upload into their CRM. So you can easily, with our tool, you can easily clean all of the data and you can automate the data movement into your CRM. So that is what we are going to be focusing in this particular webinar. So obviously, CRM is the heart of our organization. All of our customer data resides in the CRM. And if your CRM is optimized, if your data is optimized, you can do much more. So before we go into the session, understanding what are all the data quality issues, I want to understand if you or your team spend a considerable amount of time fixing your CRM data. I will just put up a poll. Just help me answer if you or your team kind of, spend time fixing data manually. All right, I've got somebody say sometimes, but all right, a lot of people are saying sometimes, but that's good. That means you probably have your data optimized, where you collect your data, how your data process is set up is probably well structured. We also have people say yes and sometimes. So data quality issue is a problem, but it is not majorly a problem for you. So that is what I am able to understand the poll result. Let me just publish the result. So yeah, okay. So let's move on with the webinar. Yeah. So we do understand that, data quality is an issue and people do spend time in trying to fix the data before they can push it to CRM. And before we jump into it, we just want to understand that, bad data is costing the US economy around $3.1 trillion per year. That means that even though we try to we say we might not have data issues, it is probably you have not really identified the issue per se. So the only way to fix or solve this problem is to truly audit your data, where it's coming from, where it's going to, Is the data reliable? Is it outdated or not? Like, there are so many aspects of data you might have to really understand so that you can fix this. I did do a webinar last month on CRM data hygiene. It will be there in the recorded webinar session. So if you are interested in understanding data quality issues, like, how you can fix and automate all of that, you can probably take a look at it. It will kind of give you an idea on how you can build a framework in your organization to fix your data quality issues. So let's move on with the session. So some common CRM data issues that majority of our customers face is, first, duplicate data. I have everything. I have small examples to help you understand these issues so that okay, this issue is there in my CRM system. And later on in the demo, I will show you how you can fix each of these issues. Yeah. So before we go into the session, again, I just want to iterate that a member of my team, Sri Krishna, he has joined. So anytime you have any questions about the tool, if you've tried using the product, if you have any questions, please feel free to raise in the Q&A tab and he'll help answer the questions for you. So yeah, so the first is duplicate data. So majority of times, right, when we are uploading data via CSV, more than once we might, like, let's say you go and you organize certain workshop and the same person has signed up for 2 of your workshop, and when you kind of push the data to your list, CRM list, it is going to create a duplicate list, right? And when you kind of go back and send an email, you're going to be sending the same email to the same customer or prospect twice. So that is what duplicate data means. And it is a huge problem. It kind of skews your entire data. You might think, I went to the event, I had, X amount of qualified leads, I had yada, yada. But then when you come back and you try to fix the data, you might understand that, there are way more duplicate data than you might have anticipated. So duplicate data is the biggest issue in CRM. Second is invalid data. So this is a huge issue, because when we have people uploading the data into their CRM, there'll be formatting issues, right? Dates might be formatted differently in your different CSV files, or when you are pushing your data from a data warehouse, it might structure the date added. The created time would be in a different format. And all of this creates a lot of issue when you are trying to push the data into your CRM. So it is not just that. It could be typos. It could be formatting structures when your email address must be in a particular structure. Otherwise, CRM is not going to accept it. Your phone number should be in a particular format. So a lot of issues happen, and this kind of creates a lot of problem to CRM users. Third is missing data. Again, this is the most crucial part, because there are important fields that you have in the CRM for a reason, right? Let's say you have a prospect. Understanding where the leads come from, what the lead source is important. And if you're unable to capture it when you're pushing that information into your CRM, is going to mess with your data, right? So you won't know where the lead is coming from. You won't know which campaign is successful. So understanding these missing data and helping you fill these missing gaps, right? That is another big CRM issue that people face. And we help solve this using DataPrep. And it need not be something that you go into CRM and manually fix it one record at a time. So it doesn't work that way. It is going to be a mass upload. So that is the biggest use case of Zoho DataPrep, where if you have any missing data, let's say your lead source column is empty, you can at one shot bring all of this data and then push it into your CRM and fill all of those missing data. So you no longer have to spend hours manually going in and fixing those information. So that is the third common issue. Fourth is the formatting issue. So even though we spoke about it in invalid data could be junk and other aspect, but formatting issue per se is the biggest issue. Like we have a lot of people write to us and say, how we can fix these formatting issues, because phone numbers, especially phone numbers, when people collect, it gets collected in multiple different formatting. There'll be brackets, there'll be hyphens, dots. So when different systems collect different data, it is in different formatting structure. With the help of DataPrep, you can bring all of those data together and then create it in the format that you need, and then push it into CRM without any issue. Next is inconsistent data. So when you are entering information, right? Let's say you're using the country field. You can write United States. Some people will write USA. Some people will write US. So these are all inconsistent data. And fixing that is important, because it is later on when you are trying to go in and create a filter and be like, I want to look at all of the US leads. When you kind of just create a filter for US, you're going to miss out the other data that is recorded under United States of America or USA, however that has been structured, right? So inconsistent data is another problem that a lot of people will not even realize that they have the problem. So having a consistent information in your CRM field is important. And next issue is data silos. So this is another important issue, right? Because let's say your sales team is probably reaching out to customers and they have a whole different insights from the customers. Your marketing team probably reaches out to the customer. They're probably sending out email once every email, and they have information of whether the prospects are acknowledging you, are they opening your emails, etc., right? So there are so much insights that is residing with the sales team, the marketing team, and even your customer support team. So when all these teams have insights, that matters for everybody else, right? So if marketing team understands what exactly the problem is, right, that is recorded by the sales team or the support team, it is going to help them personalize the email campaign. And same way, when sales team knows that, okay, this particular customer is not at all engaging with me, they would probably not reach out to that customers at all. And same way, when support team has open tickets, the sales team might not reach out to them to cross-sell or upsell, because it is going to create a negative impact, because that particular customer is already frustrated with you. They have an open issue and that has not been solved yet. And when the sales team reach out to them, that is going to create an issue. So bringing all of these insights together, all these siloed informations together and having it in your CRM is going to be crucial in creating a uniform customer experience. And DataPrep can help with that as well. Next is incorrect field mapping. So sometimes when you are uploading the data into your CRM, if you map, let's say, company name to last name, it could be a mistake. So manual issues happen over and over again, and it kind of messes with your CRM data. So in Zoho DataPrep, we have something called as target matching. When you set up the pipeline, right, and you automate it, everything is going to be what to say, there's not going to be any sort of manual intervention to have such sort of issues. So incorrect field mapping is another issue. And finally, outdated records. So what we mean by outdated records is that, let's say in your CRM you have prospects who have not engaged with you at all for the last 6 months, even 1 year, and it keeps getting added, right? Month on month, you have a certain set of leads who are not engaging with you. They could be junk leads. They could be probably leads who have already purchased a solution from another competitor, whatever it could be. But your sales team is probably wasting time in reaching out to those customers. Your marketing team is probably sending out emails to them, and it costs, right? Every touch point that you create with your customer costs either time or money. So ensuring these outdated records are weeded out from your CRM is important, and that could be fixed with the help of DataPrep as well. So yeah, and DataPrep not only helps you fix all of these issues, you can also automate them. All right, so let's go into the demo. Before we go to the demo, if you have any questions, please do raise in the Q&A tab. Right, I don't see any questions. Let me... I see a few hands raised up. So we can't allow you to talk, but if you have any questions, you can raise it in the question Q&A tab, so that I can help answer those questions for you. Yeah. So let me share my screen again to go into the demo. Okay, I hope my screen is visible. Okay. I don't know why this is coming, but yeah, let's just avoid it for a second. So I'm creating a new pipeline in my DataPrep system. So I'll just show you DataPrep. So when you log into DataPrep, this is what you see. So we are a data management platform, right? So we have multiple pipelines that are running on a daily basis. So as soon as you enter into a product, that is what you see. You can understand how many pipelines are active, how many pipelines are successful, what jobs are failed. So this is our monitoring dashboard. So this is what you see. But today's demo, we are not going to be talking about the data movement part. We are going to be talking about the data preparation and data cleaning part. So for that, we go into the pipeline, and I'm going to be bringing in my data set. So to bring in the data set, you click on the plus, and you can see, right? So these are all the sources from where you can bring your data set. So majority of times, when your data gets automatically collected somewhere, it could be a cloud storage, it could be a data warehouse, wherever it might be. But today's demo, I'm just going to upload CSV files so that it's easier. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, there are 2 workshop leads that I have, and I have an enrichment. So all the missing information. So these workshop leads, I have collected the email address and the name, but I have company details where I have manually enriched these information, basically manually collected this information either using Zoom Info or somewhere, and I have a CSV file of more information about those leads, the company they are in, what is the revenue of the company, what how many employees are there, because these are all important information for my marketing team, and we collect all of this information in our CRM. So I have brought in all of those information, and then I'm uploading it into my pipeline. So it is very simple to bring data in. First thing is, either you're going to connect it to whichever source, or you're just going to upload this information. now what I'm going to do is I am going to merge these two data sets because it's same workshop, it's the same sort of data that I collected. So definitely if you are collecting leads and pushing into CRM, all of your leads data is going to have a similar structure, right? So it just, so I don't have to go in and fix multiple data set one by one. I am going to append it, basically merge these two. So I'm just going to go and append, and it kind of matches automatically. You can also take a look at it. So this is how you kind of weed out any column mapping issues. So once I have appended it, I can go into the data set. So when I give, so up until now, I have not even opened my data set, right? Only when you give prepare data, you go into the data prep studio, and all the data preparation, the data cleaning and everything happens only inside this particular studio. Okay. So once you open the studio, you can see, right, on the right hand side, automatically you get the overall data quality issues in your data set. You can see that, 88% is green. That means good. You have 88% of your data is valid. The red data is your invalid data, and there is 59% of missing data. So this is specifically to certain company names that are missing, etc. So let's see how much of this information we are able to fix. All right. So first up, I want to show the AI feature that we have, which is Ask Zia. And I'm going to use that to fix the email issues. As you can see, right, there are certain spaces that are there, and automatically Data Prep Studio is highlighting all of these things. So you also know that there is issues with these because this is not matching the email formatting. So obviously, when you're trying to push this information into CRM, it is automatically going to come up with an error because email is meant to have a certain formatting, and spacing is not part of it. So it kind of immediately identifies and then shows all of these issues to you. So let me try asking Zia, remove the spacing issue in the email column. So you can see some of the issue, like the single space issues have gone. There's been some issue with, okay. It has given me another option of, all right, let me try this again. Remove the space before the at in email column. Let's try this. So talking to Zia requires a little of trial and error. So, okay, now that I've told remove the spaces before at, it has automatically removed all of that and then fixed the issue for me. I go ahead and click on apply transform. So anytime any fix that has to be made, you will get a preview, and only after you have approved the preview will that issue be applied in your data set. So you always need to look at the preview. If you're happy with it, you go and click on apply it. So let's ask Zia. Now we still have a few more issues in the email column, right? The red one. Let me click on that. Automatically, it filters out everything else and it shows that, okay, there are 4 issues here. And as you can see, the email is all junk value. There is no phone number, there is no company, and all of these information looks like junk, and it is not going to be of any use for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete the rows. Right? So it's how easy it is to fix. So now that email is fixed, let's go into the collected date. So again, I have information from 2 different data sets. So it has date formatting in 2 different formats. So let me just click on the down arrow and you can see the unified date format. So we have 250 plus data transforms that is built within DataPrep itself. So majority of your data cleaning, right, it is all going to be one-click solution. When you need to get creative, you can go into Ask Zia and ask Zia to fix the issue for you. So over here, it kind of shows that there are 2 different formatting there, and it kind of gives you an output format. So whatever format you want your CRM or your CRM has, you can add it. So right now I just want to remove the time because the second thing does not have time. So date, month, and year, I'm just going to have that. So I'm just going to go click on apply. Okay, there are certain invalid date that we can't do much. So automatically all of those issues have been fixed. And finally, email output. So over here, you see a lot of no data, but then this is a Boolean. Either it needs to be true or false. But we have something called as no data here. And I want to show you another functionality that we have, which is text selection. So when you kind of select issues, right? This particular, like I just selected it, it got highlighted in yellow, and automatically on the right hand side, you see a bunch of suggestions. So it says, replace it with empty. So I can also edit it. I don't want to replace it with empty column. I want to replace it with true, because according to me, if they have not explicitly said, no, I don't want email opt out, I'm just going to go in and give it as true. And then I click on apply. Automatically, you can see that it just takes a couple of minutes. Yeah, we can see that all of the no data has been replaced by true. So this is how you can go column by column and fix the issues that we have. So now you can see that we don't really have any reds in our column, probably some missing data, which is something that, we can't do much about it at this particular time. So now let's go back to the pipeline. Before I go back to the pipeline, I also want to show you how you can automate these data cleaning for future. So we have something called as rule set on the top right column. You can see the rule set, right? So if you click on this, you can see all the fixes that I have done. So I can probably gonna go and remove it because that did not work. And what we have noticed is that there are different ways to fix the data. You will probably like the first time you are fixing your data, it would be a trial and error process. But once you know, okay, this is how I need to fix the data, and it kind of gets pushed into CRM properly, then you can create this rule set as a template. You can save it as a template, and then later in any of the data set, like next time again, you are going to go and have an event or a workshop, and you are going to bring in leads from that, you can just go in and import that same rule set. So you're going to save it as a template, create a template name, and next time when you bring in the data set, right, as soon as the data set loads, you can just click on this, click on import rule set, and automatically, right, the email is going to, any spacing issues will be fixed. The email opt out, right, that issue will get fixed. And the collected date will always be in this particular format only. So all of these things would be fixed by building an rule set that is going to be exactly going to match your CRM field values. Okay. I forgot to mention this. So the phone number column has a different formatting issues. So it has brackets and certain fields have brackets, certain doesn't have bracket. So let's see how we are going to fix it. Again, I'm going to talk with Zia because I have experimented multiple ways, and Zia is the easiest way you can fix the phone number formatting issues. So first step, I'm going to do it in two different. First is remove the bracket from the phone number column. In the phone number column. And once that's done, we also want to fix, right? There is a spacing issue that you see at the end. We want it as 3 space so that like the 10 digits are evenly spaced out. So, okay, first step, I have removed the brackets. Okay, give a space before the last 4 digit of the phone number if no space is found. So you need to be, when you are talking with Zia, you need to be very clear. Sometimes when you say give space, it can give double space. So it has happened. So if you are very clear in what you want Zia to do, then you would get the perfect output. Let's see if this works. It has worked for me before. So when we kind of work with the AI, it does take some time to apply the rules. Yeah, so you can see that spacing issues has been fixed. So when you kind of hover over it, you can see the previous value. So this is how you kind of fix your data one by one, and you don't have to keep doing it over and over again, right? Because once you have done it, you have the rule sets that have been recorded. You're just going to export it as a template, save it as a template. And anytime you're going to bring in an external CSV, you know exactly what to do. And you can build on those rule set as well, right? New data set, new data format might come in and you might have to build on it, but it is going to reduce the time that you spend on fixing your data quality issues. So first step is we saw how to fix formatting issues, spacing issues, invalid data. All right, one more thing is deduplicate. So we're going to do column-wise deduplicate. Row-wise means all, like if it's just, if there is like a issue in like, you know, multiplying, bringing in the same data set, then you might have a row-wise because all the columns should match. But let's see column-wise, like, you know, if the same person has signed up for a workshop twice or different workshops, or they have signed up to your product before and they've come to your workshop. So at that particular time, you will have duplicates that are created where all the information might not be the same, but with the emails, you can easily identify. And email is the best column to keep as a reference because mainly email will be the unique identifying field in your CRM, right? So once you have identified, you can just go in and remove your duplicates so that your system doesn't have duplicate information. So now you have a 98.53% of valid data, 0% invalid data, and 1.47% of missing data. So sometimes missing data, we can't do much. We might have to manually go in and fix it. So if you know these information, you can fix it. Otherwise, So now let's talk about enrichment. So I'm going to take you back to the pipeline. So we have merged these two data set and then we have fixed most of the issues. Now I want to enrich it. So I'm going to bring in more information about the lead. Like I said, in your CRM, just your name, email number, company name, field, not only those fields thing. You probably require more amount of information in your CRM, right? So we are going to fix that by joining this data set, which is the external enrichment data set, along with the merge data set that we have. So we are going to do a left join because we require all the crucial information like the prospect data along with the company details. So once that's done, I can either click on preview, see how it looks, and then push it. But now, okay. I think I have done the wrong join. 1 second. So I want to join this with this particular, with the merge data set. Yeah. As you can see, the company name. So we are creating the enrichment data set based on the company details, right? So I'm going to run the company information in Zoom Info and get information about the revenue, the employee count, industries, etc. So we are matching it based on the company name. So I'm just going to go click on, just go ahead with join for the sake of time. Otherwise, you can go preview and any column that you don't need, you can go in and remove it in the preview field. So now I'm just going to go and prepare the data. Again, I click on prepare the data. It's going to take me into the data set. So you have company, location, the website, employee count, revenue data, the industry. So all the information necessary for an enriched lead, I have brought it in. And why this is important is because if you are to manually do this in your CRM, it is going to be time consuming. But once I have enriched it, I can go in and easily push this information into the CRM and all of my leads data would be enriched. And I can also use this information and create smaller segments. Let's say I want to segment my data set based on oh, okay. I'm sorry, the AI is not integrated. This was not part of the use case, but I'll just explain it. So if you have integrated ChatGPT, this also works on Zia. So you need to go into settings and enable it. So once this particular feature is enabled, right, you give AI the access to enable this feature, you can just tell AI to create a formula. I want to segment based on the employee count. If it's less than 100, tag it as a small SMB. If it is between 100 and 500, say it's a mid-market, and it's more than 500, label it as enterprise. So once you create a segment, you can push all of these segments to separate CRM module. So you know exactly your sales team, right? Your enterprise sales team has the exact information that they can reach out to the customer. So you can do so much more by segmenting your data set from within DataPrep itself. So again, these are all based on how your CRM is set up and how you want the information to be stored in your CRM. Again, within CRM also, there are ways to do it, but you can automate everything. So when you let me just go back to the pipeline. So from here, I can just add destination. I'm just going to give Zoho CRM. So when I and connect it to the existing module, only update. So when I set all of this up, right, automatically the segmented leads and everything gets pushed into your Zoho CRM, and all of the entire process of data movement is automated. So all you need to do is set up the thing, and then all of the segmented data moves into your CRM. So that's how you can automate your data cleaning inside your CRM itself. And I think there is one more use case that I missed, like I haven't touched based on, which is the data archiving use case, which is the outdated information. So when I say outdated information, again, it would vary from business to business. Like your business, right? You might say if a particular lead has not engaged with me for 6 months, I'm going to mark it as close in my CRM, but still it is going to be in the same pipeline, right? And CRM does not have an archiving feature. And every time you will probably, it kind of skews with your entire data altogether. And sometimes we don't even go in and mark, right? We don't really mark because we might feel like, okay, let me try engaging with the customer, whatsoever the reason. But archiving is going to help you. It is going to help keep your CRM with a healthy data value, right? And overall, you'll know, okay, there are 1,000 leads in my CRM, and all of these 1,000 leads are engaged leads. And when it's engaged leads, you can do so much more. You can segment those leads, you can personalize, etc. But if all of your non-engaged leads are part of your data set, it is going to be like 5,000 or 6,000 leads, and it is going to be very difficult to personalize all of those things. So for that reason, marking it as a non-engaged lead is important, and you can easily do that. And sometimes, right, your email data is not automatically synced, and let's say we kind of directly integrate with Klaviyo, and we are also working with Zoho marketing automation as well, which would probably go live in a few months. But once that's done, I can directly import non-engaged leads from my email tool itself, and then automatically I can mark. So I can bring in the information from my CRM, I can bring in the information from my email tool, and then I can mark certain data set, like the data, like, okay, these are all the customers who have not engaged with me. So I can probably create a new column called as non-engaged, and I can push that label customers back into CRM. So we do it as two pipelines. One is where I am marking those particular leads as non-engaged, and then second is I am pushing that back into CRM. So I know, right, we can easily, those non-engaged leads, I can just create a filter in CRM and then mark it as closed, so that they are going to move out of your active pipeline. So that is also possible by just building these pipelines automatically, and then you run this workflow. You kind of create a schedule and then run it once every week or once every month. Automatically, your CRM is going to look at all of those leads. So you are going to set the criteria, right? And then mark all of these leads as not engaged. And then easily within your CRM, you can go in and close all of those leads manually. So that is also one way of keeping out outdated information from out of your CRM. So I hope this demo has been useful for you. Let me come back and stop sharing my screen. Let me just share my presentation. Okay. So yeah. So I hope this particular session has been useful. So there have been few questions that has come in the Q&A tab. Hi, we wanted to run an email campaign. It's run by an agency. Is there any way we can give them access but not allowing them to see our database? Okay. He has, our team has answered the question. Okay. When will Zoho Books become available? Yeah, so Zoho Books is in our current pipeline and it should be made available very soon. Okay, will the system automatically match the data between two files? Will the system automatically match the data between two files? Or do the rows need to be in the same order? Is the thing? Yeah, the column structure needs to be in the same. All the files will be appended as a single file. It need not be in two. Need not be in the same order. It will only match based on the column name. So the order really doesn't matter. You will only be based on the columns that you sync. So that's how it works. So the rows or column order does not need to be the same. Okay, so how do we fully automate workflow? Okay, how do we fully automate data cleaning workflow using pipelines? So Zoho DataPrep reduce manual intervention in Zoho CRM. So I have created a webinar for this. We also have a blog. I will give the link to it. Again, it is not a one-step process where you can automate your data cleaning. You need to understand and set goals as to, okay, I want to clean the leads a certain way, like how we saw, like, these 8 things that I want to fix in Mid. That could be in one of your pipeline. And your second pipeline could be your data archiving, right? Like I showed you, you want to mark certain leads as outdated. That could be done using a different pipeline. And you want to back up your CRM data. That could be a different pipeline. So you kind of achieve this by building multiple pipelines. You can find a blog as well as a recorded webinar in our DataPrep website itself on how we have broken it down. We have built 4 different structures on how you can automate almost 80% of your CRM data cleaning problem. Obviously, there will be certain data issues that is very specific to your business use case, but do write to us at support@zohodataprep.com, and definitely we can help solve those issues for you. So yeah. Okay. In many organizations, maintaining consistent data quality in Zoho CRM can be challenging as multiple data sources. How do you design and scalable data using Zoho DataPrep to continuously clean and validate data without? Yes, there you can set up these pipelines, and there is no need for manual intervention. Now, when you have set the pipeline, audited it, and you are happy with the output, you can set up automations and then forget about it. So that is how data pipeline works. And but we do suggest that, come and take a look at it once every week to see if your pipelines are running flawlessly, because when you are connecting with multiple different systems, right, there could be certain connectivity issues, there could be some connection errors, and your pipeline could have failed. But we do have automated refreshes to kind of fix these issues as well. But it is always better to make it into a process to just come check if your pipelines are running flawlessly at least once every week or so, and you're set. All right. All the 8 ways as an overview. If you require the presentation, please do email me. I'll just drop my email. Please do email me. I will share the presentation with you with all the 8 points. I will also This particular webinar is recorded, and a copy of the recording would be made available to you after the webinar is over. So that shouldn't be a problem. How to clean accounts and their contact in CRM when it's synced with books. So again, it works the same way. So when I talk about CRM, we are talking about the fields in CRM. When you take books, it's going to be the different fields in books. So there is not going to be any change in how you're going to use DataPrep. It is just going to be like, what sort of data fixes that needs to be made and thing. So feel free to play around with the DataPrep. We do have free trial. Bring in your, even if you have books, I think the integration would be soon made available. But if you can bring in certain CSV file and see how it works to understand whether DataPrep is going to solve the exact problem that you have. Okay. If there are any more questions, we'll keep the portal open for a few more minutes. If you require the presentation with the 8 points, I will email me and I will send it to you. Yes, DataPrep is part of Zoho One, so you will have access to it. You don't really require to purchase it separately. Even if you are using data analytics, DataPrep is part of analytics, but your clean data would only move into analytics. So if you are only looking for data prep, cleaning it for analytics purposes, you will have access to it from within analytics as well. But it will not work for Zoho CRM specifically. Question is, as a fresher preparing for technical support engineer roles, is any entry level? Sorry, Ashwin, this is not the right forum to answer this question, but you can always take a look at the career portal in Zoho for any open roles. Okay, thank you all for joining the session. I will drop our support email address. If you have any specific use cases that your business requires, do write to us. I do hope that you try the product, and yeah, thank you all for joining the session.